Good people, good people, good people. Welcome back to the Gun Town Podcast, episode 239. I'm Doug B. If you tuned in to this podcast, thank you for your time and your attention. I really appreciate you giving it a shot. Today's guest is the founder and owner of ConeHeads Creamery and more. I'm looking forward to this conversation. I'm sure we'll all be inspired by his story. Let's chop it up with Bishop Lawrence Harkless. Bishop Harkless, how's it going, sir?
Man, it's going good, brother. Going good, Doug, man. Appreciate you for having me on tonight.
Glad to hear that. First things first, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to speak with me a few minutes. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, man. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, sir. We're here to talk about all the great things you got going on with ConeHeads Creamery and more. But before we talk business, let's get to know the man behind the brand. Originally from Shorter, Alabama. How was your upbringing in Shorter?
Born and raised, man, in a shotgun house on a dirt road in Shorter, Alabama, man, a little small community called White Church. If you know anything about Shorter, I say it like this: all great men come from Shorter. I think my wife will echo that as well. I say born and raised there, Shorter Elementary, DC Wolf. Very rooted in there in the community. Spent my entire upbringing there, and I love Macon County. I mean, it's Shorter of the people, some of the greatest people on the face of the Shorter. I always love home. I love my home people.
Yeah, that's good. Got a chance to grow up in Shorter, and I didn't grow up too far from you. I grew up in Wall, so we about six X's away. So I definitely
No,
understand.
man, that's down the dirt road. Back dirt
Yeah.
road in Florida, bring you right out. Dirt road in White Church come right out at, at Lion Creek, man. So we got a lot of kinfolk and stuff like that down there. Well,
That's
yeah,
right.
raised in a shotgun house, man. Come from a young single mom who had me at 16, that pregnant at 16, had me at 7. Life was good, God was good, and so, man, here I am today.
Absolutely, and very similar to Wall. I'm pretty sure Shorter had the exact same dynamic. Small town, everybody knew everybody, so you had a tight knit village and community that kept you accountable.
Right. There's a lot of that behind the man who I am today, because the community, the village poured into me. I am who I am because of those people in the community, those coaches. Didn't have a dad that would come through to pick you up, hit that horn, jump on the truck, go play softball, go play football. The teachers, the principal that kind of kept the hand, in my life. And I see them now. If I catch them out in public, I'm buying them dinner. I'm doing all kind of things, to help those who helped me become the man that I am today. It means so much to me.
Yes, sir, absolutely, and that's what the age old adage, and it'll never be cliche to me. It takes a village because it really does take a village. I mean, and like you
Definitely.
said, from your coaches to grandma, granddaddy, aunties,
Right.
uncles, and just that village just truly just shape you like you were just saying, like your village truly shaped you into the man you are. Ain't nothing like that village.
Right. Different where we come from. That's part of the problem, I think, in our community. Got away from no concept and how a community to help bring out the best in that generation that's coming up.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So you do all your schooling in Shorter and finish up high school. So what did you do after you finished high school? Did you go to college, military? Did you go right
Man,
to
I
work?
joined the Navy right out of high school. Man, I actually, my last year of high school, I graduated from a small school down in Washington County called Leroy, home of the Black Bears. Right after high school, joined the Navy. I spent 4 years in active Navy, 4 in the Fleet Reserve, married my wife. Right out of high school, the year out of high school, got married, started our family early. It was good. It was good. So
Okay, awesome stuff. Well, first things first, I want to thank you for your service in our Navy.
appreciate you, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So overall, how was that experience serving in our Navy?
Man, Navy was good to me. It taught me how to lead and how not to lead. My first assignment, Joint Command, very top heavy, 4-star general, 3-star general, a bunch of 2 stars, a boatload of 1 stars, a whole bunch of colonels. And here I am, a junior enlisted guy from Short, Alabama. I had the opportunity to be in the room with President Bush, Rice, Karzai, first president of Afghanistan, the Afghan War, the Crown Prince of Saudi, some of the who's who that I had an opportunity from Short, Alabama. Man. President Bush, kind of like starstruck me. He was just a, down to earth homeboy. He was just like he was from Shorter, man. And
Okay.
so, coming from not having much to being able to be in the room with some of the most powerful was a very unique experience. And again, the military kind of taught me how not to lead, how to treat, how not to treat. So I kind of live my life by a lot of those principles. The Navy core values are honor, courage, and commitment. Kind of live by those principles even still outside of life, which flow really from the word of God, if you ask me. And so be my light. So it kind of just helped instill more values into who I am. So living by honor, courage. So, but it was good. It was good. I would do it all over again if I.
Okay, sounds good, and glad you had a great experience serving in our Navy. And like you were just saying, just those principles you learned about leadership and how to lead and how not to lead, how not to lead, and how you've been able to apply those principles in everyday life. And I mean, I never served in the military, but I know people who have served, and that's one thing I've always respected about the military, all branches. It's just a certain level, structure, discipline, integrity, and I just really appreciate all those principles that they instill in you all. And I appreciate people like yourself who go out there and serve our country.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So let's talk about what we're here to talk about: Coneheads, Creamery, and more. So I'm big into brand names, Bishop. So I got to ask you, what's the inspiration behind the company name?
So my wife and our oldest son, LJ, would probably tell you, Dad finna shine right now because, we sat around the table. Actually, we were supposed to do this 7, 8, maybe 10 years ago, man. Some time ago, we sat around talked about opening up an ice cream shop, and we just kind of never moved on it then. And we were sitting around the dinner table not long ago, last summer. We were like, you know what? When that Subway comes available, we want that spot. We want that spot cream shop. And we sat down. We're like, well, what we gonna call it? My grandfather's name is Edgar. My wife was like, well, let's call it Edgar. And then she was like, she went to Huntsville like that following week after we came up with that name, came up with the logo and everything. And old man, old ice cream cone, with a top hat and a cane, kind of representing an old brand, kind of like Ed and Eddie's kind of thing, building that brand. And we was like, she went to Huntsville and saw something called Edgar's Bakery, like a chain in Huntsville. She's like, oh, people gonna confuse us with that. And I was like, see, I told y'all we're gonna call it Coneheads. I'm an early '80s baby, '81, and Dan Aykroyd movie Coneheads was popular in the early '90s. Man, it was a hot movie, and I was like, man, let's name this thing Conehead. They were like, man, that's whack, that's lame, man, blah blah blah. Nah, Daddy, we ain't gonna do that. You should just heard them dogging, Oh, nah, man, Dad, that's corny. But everybody who hears the name be like, man, I like that. That's cool. That's pretty cool. And so we're working on like some of these little branded cones that when kids come in, like Burger King. I don't know if you remember they used to do these little cones you put on your head, the little crowns
Right.
and different things. So we're working on something like that. But everybody deserves to be a cone head. Once they come in and get some of that ice cream, and you're officially a cone head.
Okay, no, and that's great, and that's a great story behind the brand name. And I definitely remember that movie Coneheads with Dan Aykroyd, and the entire family had the Coneheads. That's
Right, right.
and I thought maybe that was a play on the movie when I originally saw the name, but I was like, let me just ask anyway. But no, that's a great, very very organic way how you came up with the name, and I mean it is catchy. So you had a great idea all along, Bishop.
Right. Then we came with the creamery and more because we're gonna do incorporating in the summer. We look Italian ice. We do chili dogs. We kind of let the and more kind of go any direction we decide to do. Any other things. So we that's why we added the and more, the creamery and more. We don't know where we don't want to limit ourselves. We certainly don't want to limit them. So we added the maybe pops with the brand.
Okay, sounds good. That makes perfect sense. Just don't want to put yourself in the box, so that's why
Right.
you added that extra on the company name. No, that makes perfect sense. And I remember that Subway that was in that location previously. What was it? What was it about that location that just stood out to you?
So here it is. My heartbeat is for mentorship. When I saw Subway close up, I told LJ to reach out to the owner, make sure we get that spot. He gave us our word because the new high school is coming down, and I want to be able to pour into the lives of young people. That's one reason why we chose that location. We specifically wanted that location so that we can have a co-op, have students come in and work and teach entrepreneurship training and development about entrepreneurship and pour into young minds about business and certain things like that. And my son already kind of mentors some young kids in the neighborhood, in the Pecan Grove neighborhood, and teaching them how to cut hair and let them work around the shop and do little certain things. He's kind of taking care of them, and so that location for that one to be able to reach the new, was it Percy Julian High School? I think coming down the road. I think they moved it down to 2029. Again, God always does things where He does things. He's already hooked us up. Co-op teacher. I don't know what the proper term is. When I was in school, it was called co-op. But the guy at Carver High School who does the co-oping, and so we plugged in with him. He came in to get some ice cream, and I started telling him what I wanted to do, and he was like, "Oh, really? I'm the co-op teacher at Carver, or whatever it's called. I can't remember the official title." But he was like, "Hey, may have some students for you." I was like, "Hey, that's right down our alley." Pour into the lives of some of these, and then strategically, again, location-wise, is right there next to Lagoon Park. With the softball tournaments that go on, all the traffic that goes on. in that area, dealing with the sports. And then golf is right there, so we get people coming from the golf course, and so it's not only a great money making opportunity, but again, it's an opportunity to utilize us.
Wow, that's so great just hearing you talk about that, Bishop, and just break that down. Like with the location being not far from Percy Julian, that they're in the process of building right now. Just an opportunity just to pour into the young kids, and also mentioning you've had an opportunity to now work with Carver co-op instructor, teacher, and even just mentioning the Lagoon Park aspect. And that's and like I said, I was just curious the thought process behind that space, and it makes perfect sense. You was thinking strategically and just with forward thinking. That's an amazing story and just an amazing like just forward thinking in general. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, we often talk about with these kids, we can't just keep talking about change. We got to be a part of it. You get along with, those of us who believe in God, get along with God and come up with ways to help be able to reach and pour back. I am who I am because people poured into my life. Man, my home community tell you, man, that joke was bad as all get. I don't remember none of that. I'm saved, sanctified, people spirit. I don't know nothing about none of that stuff y'all talking about. That old man gone. I don't even remember him anymore. But they'll tell you I was something terrible. But I am who I am because of those who helped mentor me and poured in along the way. And so that's our goal. We have a young lady who attends Alabama State who works there. We got it from high school who works there. Just being able to teach them, business ethics, how to be polite and how to smile and how to talk and how to be able to be professional and be polished. And so if we want to see change, we got to help affect and effect change.
That's absolutely spot on, Bishop, and it's so great to hear you say that because it is one of the things I've been guilty of, and I'm pretty sure others have been guilty of. You look at the younger generation and you ridicule them and you say, "Oh, they ain't got no home training. Oh, they need to get it together." But how quick we soon forget elders of our when we were growing up, they poured into
Right.
us. So now
Right.
it's and because I'm an 80s baby too, Bishop, so I definitely wholeheartedly agree. It's our job now to
Greatest generation. Greatest generation.
Hey, you said it, I didn't. And if you don't know, now you know. Hey,
Now
the
you
greatest
know, baby.
generation. Yes, sir. So everything you said spot on, just in terms of not only complaining about it, but being a solution, being
Right.
someone that wants to come in and affect change. So I think that's great. Just everything that you all are doing with this business and just what you're doing with your ministry overall. I think it's amazing, Bishop. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So when this space became available and you got the call that it was time that it was available, how long did it take y'all to make a move on it, go ahead and get it leased up? Like, how long did that process take?
That's funny you ask that. All things in timing and God's timing. We signed the lease on this space. We ready back in July,
Okay.
right? Man, and we had the space ready to open in August. We did not open until Valentine's. It's funny because man, it was initially some things that we didn't need that we end up needing. Didn't know that in serving ice cream, we had to put in a grease interceptor, not a grease trap. And then, so it was a whole rigmarole behind that because Waterworks now gets involved because ice cream, milk breaks down into fatty liquids and contamination and all that kind of stuff. And you're like, oh my God, y'all say we ain't had to do none of that. Well, Waterworks now signs off on all restaurants that are opening in the city. You have to go through them. You used to have to go through them. And so, of course, Waterworks is based not in Alabama, it's in a whole nother state. And so, even though some of the decisions are made locally, the plumber ordered the wrong equipment. It came in. They only wanted this type of equipment. It had to be on this approved list. And man, we like, and that just drug on. The process just kept dragging on. We finally got it. All the things that need to be done in place and done, finally inspected, moved by the health department, Montgomery Waterworks, in the city, fire, and all the things you have to do to open up a business. We finally got it approved like in January. We're like, man, it's cold now. We missed out on all that summer fun, that late summer fun. And so we decided to open Valentine's Day, and man, the rest is history. It has phenomenal. God, man, just blowed our mind. And people are just coming out of the woodworks, Prattville, Pine Level. We had a couple drive down from Auburn. So
Mm.
we saw it on TikTok and we just had to come. We had to come. And but again, we were ready to open last summer. Here we are, February, March.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And, it's just a reminder that our plans ain't got nothing on God's plan. And a lot of
That's right.
times, yes, sir. And a lot of times we be wanting things to go this way, that way. But sometimes God will delay it to redirect us and protect us and look at everything that you all were able to get done right on the front end as it relates to the business. So you ain't got to worry
Right.
about it no more. So
Right.
it's, it's just, it's just a reminder that, God's always in charge and his plan is always greater than ours.
Right. And so again, we want to make space a safe place, a safe space for young people. And so we're putting in some arcade games. Actually, they should be going in hopefully this week and next week. Some arcade games going to be going in. Kind of again, we want to be able to make a safe space. Those high schools be able to get out and come, and as long as they know how to behave and know how to act, they can hang out all day, play video games, jazz music. As long as it doesn't disturb the flow of business, to get on a place they can come in and do homework. And some of these kids may not have Wi-Fi at home, and they can jump on the Wi-Fi and things like that, man. So again, it's multifaceted. The space is multifaceted. That's why we chose that space. And it kind of fits who I am, what God has called me to, my family, to be able to pour back into this city and to entrenched ourselves.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Love to hear it. So, as it relates to your menu items and all that good stuff, what would you say have been you all's best sellers since y'all opened y'all doors?
Man, listen, brother, the chili dogs are bomb. Yeah, people love the chili dog, but they don't sell as much like they were. But boy, man, we had a content creator came through the other day, last week before last, dropped a video about the ice cream nachos. Man, they have been flying out of off the shelf, if they say. Man, everybody, hey, let me get them ice cream nachos with that blue monster. Man, people love that blue monster ice cream. I ain't never heard no blue monster. Some of these flavors I never knew existed until we decided to open up an ice cream shop. But man, this Blue Monster ice cream is a monster. I think we've sold 5 or 6 tubs of Blue Monster in a month. It's just the most popular ice cream we got going with those nachos. The first month we kind of did. My wife came up with these. She come up with these little creative ideas. She had in her head. She do a great job with it. All praise to her. We did a strawberry cheesecake, something she called it. And it was selling like hotcakes. But boy, when he dropped that content about those Blue Monster nachos, everybody, hey, seen y'all on TikTok, want them nachos, those ice cream nachos. Man, again, couple drove all the way from Auburn to get those ice cream nachos. So that's the popular thing right now that everybody's coming in and getting those ice cream nachos.
Okay, sounds good. Definitely sounds good. And
Watch this. You ready for a joke? I wanted to call them nacho. Get it? Not your nachos.
Right, absolutely. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm tracking. I'm tracking.
So every now and then somebody go, "Oh, you want them nachos?" My wife be like, "Hey, what they call? They call ice cream nachos." They say I'm so corny.
I mean, hey, but sometimes corny catches on, and
That's a cliche, man. I'm trying to show them how to get that brand. Nacho, we get shirts, custom made ConeHeads shirts. I tried the nachos, baby.
Hey, absolutely, Bishop. I'm tracking. I promise you, I'm tracking. No, that's good that your ice cream nachos, chili dogs, the Blue Monster, just everything just been selling well, and the support's been there from Montgomery, Prattville to Auburn. So that's good. That
All points in between, man. Friends and family from Shorter, Tuskegee, country folk. You country, I'm country.
yes,
We
sir.
want that. We and two ice creams in the country. We eat that butter pecan and black walnut. So, of course, that's been like the number 2 seller. The butter pecan, of course, has been. And then we got what's called crazy colors, Superman.
Okay.
It ain't. Yeah, we call it the Superman ice cream. They call it, man. It's flying too. So people come in and it ain't got nothing on it.
Yes, sir. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. So, with everything on your plate, Bishop, you being a husband, father, bishop, entrepreneur, I got to ask you, with everything on your plate and all the different roles and responsibilities that you're responsible for, what do you do to decompress and get away from it all?
Man, great question. Man, you ain't gonna believe this. I'm old school. I'm nostalgic. I got a record.
Okay.
Man, my Sunday evenings, I like to come in my office, close my door, spin my record, spin my old school album. Sunday evenings, I'll do that. Man, we have chickens. Man, I go out there and play around in the chicken coop, talk to my chickens. And we got horses. I go out there and fool around with the horses. So man, we those are things that we kind of do. I'm laid back. I'm a simpleton. Don't take a lot to make me happy. But man, those are some of the things on my records. Go out there and play with the chicken. Go out there and fool around with them. That's right down my alley. Then hop on the tractor, ride around in the backyard. Ain't even got nothing to do. Ride around on the tractor. But those are things that keep me happy, put me in my happy place, man. And then just to be in the presence of my family, man. I'm an only child. I have 4 kids. We had 5. We had a daughter passed in 2003. 2004. And so to be able to come and just chill in the comforts of the family, that's really
Yes, sir. And definitely want to offer my condolences to the loss of your daughter, Bishop.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And it's great that you had those outlets to just get away and decompress. Like you said, just go in your office, play your record player, go out there and mess with the chickens, the horses, hop on the tractor just to ride out. I mean, that's what it's about, Bishop, just finding those outlets to get away from the grind, the hustle and bustle. Because if you always working, if you always trying to, team no sleep and just work yourself to the bone, you end up burning out.
And we work a lot, man. We have a lot going on in our
Right.
entrepreneurship portfolio, so do quite a bit. Us busy, but we've learned that to delegate, hire, do a lot of. We started relinquish and release. We're not in that.
Okay, good stuff. Absolutely. So let's talk vision. What are some of your short-term and long-term goals for the business for ConeHeads Creamery and more you feel comfortable sharing?
At the core, I'm an entrepreneur. My dad, pool hall growing up, and I used to go and visit him in the summers and holidays. A pool hall at two country stores, a trailer park. I get that entrepreneurship out of my dad's and not to my great grandfather. Also, there are some plans to expand other location in the river region with possibility to think about franchise, kind of trademark the name, just kind of thinking futuristically, now looking down the line, some options out surveying the land even now, thinking about a second location, whether Montgomery or somewhere around in the river.
Okay, sounds good. Expansion
Multiple
and
multi-site locations. And
okay.
again, man, favor is always great. It's not fair. Somebody reached out to us about coming and open up a location in East Chase. And I'm like, man, that's the high rent district out there, baby. You got to sell a lot of ice cream to be in East Chase.
Yes, sir.
But when people believe in you, man, the Lord will cause favor to show up in your life. Will do things for you that money won't do for. It's called faith. We just trust in God. We believe in God. Don't want to move too fast outside of His time. We want to try to make sure, because I believe what a lot of business owners do is that they don't perfect the one before they try to jump to many. And so us trying to be able to bring perfection to doing right now, where ordering is concerning, getting our suppliers down, make sure that we have an adequate flow of access, and it really helps that Bluebells is right there in Hope Hall. We get our ice right there in Hope Hall, and so and then trying to strategically get some other distributors, some other things. And so, again, just trying to perfect where we are right now, not to move too fast, but there are some multi-site.
Okay, sounds good, Bishop. And the expanding the business and continuing to grow and all other short-term and long-term goals you all have set, I have no doubt you all will put in the work and make them all come to fruition.
Right. Again, we do quite a lot with our child care centers, with Bible Baby, the commercial cleaning business. We do quite a bit. Meanwhile, still leading a congregation, a growing young congregation, raising still two young children still at home. It's a lot going on. It's tedious. It's definitely rewarding. It wouldn't take nothing.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. So as we wrap up the podcast, I want to ask $1 million question. I started this podcast because I wanted to highlight businesses, entrepreneurs with some ties, some roots to Montgomery. Whether you were born here or lived here for a significant period of your life, be it college, military, or work, you operating in business in Montgomery. I got to ask you, Bishop, what do you appreciate the most about the city of Montgomery?
Montgomery, I tell people all the time who don't live here, may live in other parts of Alabama, and there's such a negative eye, black eye. I tell everybody, Montgomery is a great place of family, a place it doesn't take a lot to have a lot. And I think that's one of the great misconceptions about Montgomery. No matter what say in the local Facebook blogs and all those things, I really still think Montgomery. Do we got issues like every other place? Certainly. But I
Right.
still think Montgomery. I believe in Montgomery. I believe it's still the capital of dreams. I still believe it's a place to come and be all that God desires for you. Right here in Montgomery. Right here in Montgomery. I'm grateful to God for the leadership in the city. And got great friends on both sides of the spectrum, black or white, or Democrats or Republicans, doing great things that believe in the city of Montgomery and doing great things to make sure that Montgomery is being all that to its citizens. And I think the best is yet to come for this. They're great things down the horizon. I want to be a part of it, helping bring change into the city. So I really love Montgomery. Like I say, I love Shorter, love born on the campus of Tuskegee. That's in my blood. At John Andrews Hospital. I love Montgomery. I'm rooted here. We were looking to move back to Elmore County at one time. We sat down at the dinner table. Everything happens at the dinner table. This was like, you know what? We invested in this city. We believe in Montgomery in this city.
Yes, sir. Powerful stuff, Bishop. Powerful stuff. So how can the people find Coneheads Creamery and more on social media?
Facebook, find us ConeHeads Creamery and more. Instagram, we're out there, ConeHeads Creamery and more. Matter of fact, if you've been one of our patrons, you visited us so far, and like what you've seen, go out on Google Coneheads Creamery and more. Give us a Google review. 5 stars is always great. Matter of fact, a lady came in today. I was down there working. A lady came in today and said she just Googled ice cream in Montgomery, and we popped up. She came in and she was like, "Wow, this is everything I wanted it to be, everything I thought it would be." She was looking for a milkshake, and we're incorporating shakes and Italian ice in the summer. A part of the menu that we're expanding. We'll be doing Italian ice and milkshakes. Any ice cream flavor that you can get from the cooler, you can make it, have it in a milkshake. Working on that, have that perfected by the summertime. Looking forward to it. Conehead Creamery is more Facebook and on IG. You'll be able to find us, and on Google. Give us a 601 Northeastern Boulevard, 601 Northeastern Boulevard, right at the entrance of Lagoon Park. You can find us right there Monday through Saturday from 11 to 7, and Sundays after worship. Everybody, Sundays are for worship. 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. We're open on Sundays. So come and see us. We love your support. And if you patronized us, tell somebody about us. Really appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And of course, I'll put all of that information in the description of the episode. Hey, Bishop, thanks again for a few minutes of your time. I really appreciate it.
Doug, brother, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the opportunity to come and share with your listening audience.
Yes, sir. Good people, that concludes another dope episode of the Gumtown Podcast. In the meantime, in between time, y'all know what to do. Be blessed, be safe, but most importantly, have the audacity to be you.